Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend on the road. And from back in his own studio at the Comedy Club is one Dan Barillo. And
yeah, I'm taking over.
I reached out to this guy and he said to me, I'm hammered. I don't know if I feel like walking downstairs. Kevin Muir.
I might have fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm at my brother's house.
Was it like Raiders of the Lost Ark with the
There was
bowling?
nothing rolling after me.
I'm at my brother's house in Kennebunk, Maine. Came up to see my dad, and
Hang with the bushes.
Yeah, went by the Bushes compound today. Over by the beach. We were out at the beach for a little while. It was in the 50s here, but not and windy, so not as nice as where you guys are. Which did not prompt the day drinking for me. But I will say that I slipped in my socks and went down the wooden stairs and could not gain my balance all the way down on my side. Like just slapping, grabbing at anything, fell all the way to the bottom yesterday. I have a huge, from like the bottom of my ass to the top of my ass, bruise. This is
Worst impression of risky business ever.
Yeah, I came sliding out my socks. It was the weirdest thing. Like, here's the thing: when you fall, you have no control. It comes so unexpectedly that it just, I don't know. It's a very weird thing. Let me see if I pull this camera back.
So you're putting your dad in the home and you're falling on the stairs now. Do we need to be worried about you as well?
Yes. So Jameson comes out because I'm laying, I like let out a, oh my God. And he came running out and he looks at me and goes, are you okay? And I said, yes. And then of course he did what every son.
World star.
He just turns around and he just burst out laughing. And that was the end of that. So yes, but it was quite an adventure getting to Kennebunk, Maine, but we're here, saw my dad. I feel bad for him. Not really digging where he's at. I don't think he's digging where he's at in life. But kind of realizes he needs people. I think last night they have a rope in the bathroom and it was too close to the toilet paper. So when he pulled on the toilet paper, it pulled the rope. And the next thing you know, you got people pounding on the door. He goes, I'm standing there in my underwear. They're coming in. I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Taking action in the old folks' home.
Yeah, I guess that is. But I do have to give a shout out to Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because I've been driving the 2025 Daytona Charger, the Dodge Daytona Charger RT. And I was like, all right, let's see how it goes on long trips and stuff. And man, I have an app called SharePlug, and it tells you where there are different charging stations and how fast they charge and all this. And you can get in there and it's nothing. It's great. Sometimes, depending on where you charge, it can be fairly expensive compared to gas, but then in other places it's fantastic. So it's quite the thing. And the cars, I mean, I got to tell you, this car is unbelievable. But we had a really, really funny thing because one of the places we were going to charge was outside of Boston in a park. So we pull into this park. There's Little League games going on. And there's people parked in the EV spots, but they're not charging. They have gas cars, and they're just using the spot. And they don't care. So I'm like, man, I don't want to try to find another charger. So we're going around asking people, and then somebody moved their car, and we were able to pull in and just start charging. Another guy comes zipping in, and, well, Jameson and I, while I was charging, went over. We were picking up road snacks and this. We come back. Another guy pulls in to charge. And he says, oh, this is your car. I said, yeah. He goes, oh, I was wondering if you were this one. It's a white Jeep. It's not electric. It's parked in the EV spot. He goes, I need to pick my wife up at the airport. My car is fully electric. I charge here all the time. He goes, I just called the cops.
You thought you were an asshole.
Well, he thought I was the asshole. He thought I was the asshole. Oh, wait, it gets a little better. So the cops show up. And I'm expecting them to like write a ticket, or I can't imagine what this is, right? It's a guy parked there. What are you going to do? I don't think it's necessarily illegal. It's rude, but I don't think there's any legality here. Do you? I don't think there is.
It's frowned upon.
Not yet.
It's frowned upon. But you know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin, it's not like parking in a handicap spot. You don't have the handicap sticker, right?
Yeah, do you need like a lightning sticker like in your window underneath your rear view mirror? Like I could only I could park in these charging areas.
So I would have never, ever thought to call the cops. Just never would have come on my radar to call the cops about this. I went around and asked people in the place to say, hey, is there anybody there? I have a spot. I'll switch with you. We never found. Somebody sheepishly walked out and moved their car. I think they didn't want to admit it. So this guy, the cops direct him in, put him up on the lawn, and they stretch the charger over to his car so he can charge. So he's in there charging. And all of a sudden, the game starts letting out, and Jameson's sitting with me, and he goes, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And every time, like a mother and a kid, or a father and a mother and a kid come walking up, he'll go, oh, I wonder if these are the people want to. Finally,
Come on, be a fat bitch. Come on.
Here comes a father and son. Father gets in the car, and the guy who called the cops pops out of his car and gets into a confrontation. And he says to the guy, he goes, hey, it's really rude to park here. He goes, I got to go pick up my wife. The guy goes, it was an empty parking spot. Tough shit. So the guy goes, yeah, but it's really rude. The guy in the Jeep goes, hey, my tax dollars pay for this? The guy goes, what? He goes, yeah, my tax dollars pay for this. Get a gas car like the rest of us. So the guy goes,
Bill Burr on him.
Yeah. The guy goes, hang on a second. He's like, your tax dollars have nothing to do with this. He goes, I'm paying. My credit card information is in the machine, putting the electric in the battery. He goes, it has nothing to do with your tax dollars. He goes, yeah, right. It's my tax dollars. Get a gas car, asshole. And gets in his car and shuts the door. And I'm sitting there going, it was pretty funny because it's like, it's kind of ignorant. In a way, you are paying for the electric. It's just a choice, one way or the other.
Rich white people problems.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a funny thing. I was like, that was pretty wild. But it is an
Bill Moran to go to Boston and have a parked car story.
He didn't have a parked car story. That was
the only thing that would have made this story better was if it was at Whole Foods.
Or Fenway.
Who calls the cops? Who would call the cops? That's the thing that I couldn't get is who's calling the cops?
A masshole would call the cops.
I guess.
The entitled.
Another masshole.
Isn't that weird? Or is it just me?
4 years ago when you were entitled, you would have called the cops too.
No. When was I ever entitled?
Before this podcast.
Oh, you think? I don't think so.
Like,
never.
Did you have your own BM sticker over at the Brother Weiss building downtown in the parking lot?
Yes.
Hey, you know who I am?
Yeah.
I
never.
That was just a porter, John.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But I came up here and my dad is having a hard time. I was going to get him into the Charger. I wanted to take him for a ride because this car, I'm telling you, if you're looking for a fun muscle, that old school muscle car that's still got the energy and stuff, boy, these Daytona Chargers are unbelievable, and they'll give you a fantastic deal at Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. I wanted to take.
Just bought one.
Yeah,
yeah. I think Wally just bought one.
I think they're going to love it. It's a great car, just in terms of even the technology with the driver assist. When you're in traffic and you've got your cruise control on, and you're coming up on another car, it slows down automatically. You don't have to do anything. Just keep your hands on the wheel and keep that car just going in the right direction. And it does the rest for you. It's like all the thinking. It's fantastic. You could almost
even Jameson could drive it.
Well, possibly. I was going to say so easy that you could be in the shape Kevin's in and drive it right now.
So easy, even a woman could drive it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, when they have self-driving cars, do DWI laws go away? Or do you have to still be like quite competent?
No, because you still have to have the key. You still have to have the key of the ignition. You still have to have your hands on the wheel.
You do have to have your hands on the wheel. That is true.
Yeah.
You got to guide them. I don't know about the self-driving though, Kevin. In self-driving, I've never participated in any of those, Danny. I don't know. Because I would
A
think
hand
like,
at two and a hand on your beer.
yeah, I always thought with self-driving, eventually could they build cars that have treadmills in them so you could work out on your way to work? You know what I'm saying? Like you can get in there and you could be working out while takes you to work.
I ran a marathon.
Yeah, you
Thank
know what I'm
God I
saying?
work from home.
Or you just walk so you don't get it, so you're not a big sweaty mess, but you get your steps in for the day. You're in your car, you're on your way to work. You're kind of killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah, every April we're gonna have the Boston Marathon meeting the Daytona 500.
Yeah, but my dad could not get into the
people won't just watch you porn and jack off instead of walking.
What are you talking about? How could that possibly be, Kevin? I can't imagine that the world has been designed for us to just look at vagina. That's it, in different shapes, shades, and various positions. No, but my dad could not. He's in such a tough spot, and I think it's bad for him, or I know he feels bad about this, is that he couldn't like get himself that low to get in the car. Like just with the Parkinson's and stuff. And he's having just a hard time moving around. And everything's kind of, he said to me, he keeps saying to me, man, this has progressed so much, or it's gotten so fast. And I said to him, I don't think it has, because he kept his diet pretty clean and he worked out a lot for a number of years. And he's had this now for, I think, over 3 years. And it seems to be doing, you know, it may be progressing to the point where now he needs to be around people in case something does happen. But, you know, his mind is as sharp as whatever. We spent the whole day with him. It was that kind of nice. Went down to the beach. The wind, but see, here's the thing. The wind was so bad at one point, it was like blowing him over. Like, here's this guy, you know, your dad, who's this big, stocky, 6'2", you know, guy who built your house that you grew up in and all this stuff, and he's getting blown over by the wind. It happens. I mean, that's just the way life goes.
When my father died of cancer, I mean, like, it took me a long time to forget about what he looked like in that bed and remember him for the strong guy that he was.
Right.
And it was really hard. I mean, because like in the last, I mean, he still had it. Like, he still, like, even though he had cancer for the first 2 years that he had it, he really still looked strong enough. Like, you wouldn't have known he had cancer unless you, but then that last year he went downhill so freaking fast.
Yeah.
And he tried still doing things and lifting things and he couldn't. And it was hard to watch. It really was.
Yeah. It is one of those things that are, it's bad. I feel bad for him, but he's, you know, as sharp as ever. And I think he really enjoyed talking to Jameson. And I'll tell you, as a 15-year-old kid, you know, you want to, because my father said at one point, man, if I were your age, I'd be calling me every old man curse in the book, basically, to Jameson. Like, you know, why can't you move, do this? And Jameson's like, no, I'm kind of liking spending time. Jameson wasn't on his phone, didn't have his headphones on, didn't do anything. Sat on the beach, found a stick that had washed up on the beach, like a kind of, I guess you could call it more a log, that was sort of in the shape of a baseball bat, and just hit rocks out into the ocean. You know, because it's pretty rocky up here on the end. And my dad just thoroughly enjoyed watching that. And we got some food. We went to his place. We sat around and talked. And, you know, he asked Jameson about his girlfriend and said some interesting things. And it was sort of fun to watch that interaction, because sometimes I think you always cringe when your kids say something around your parents. You're like, oh God, I know he hated when I did that. What is he going to say when they do it? You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And he was great. It was a good day. I think by the end of the day, he was pretty tired.
Worst version of the Tim McGraw song ever, though.
Yes. Yeah. Live like you were dying.
Well, you know, your father always had a way with words, and Jameson, listening to his rap records, has a way with words. Has Jameson played his tapes or his demos for your old man? And you think they could collaborate at some point? I think that would be very interesting.
He has not, but my father was trying to teach him words like latrine, or not latrine. I'm going to mess it up. It means to urinate.
Shizzle.
Yeah, all these different things. So that was interesting. But Kevin, I want to know, like, when did the decision to just kick back and call it a Friday on a Thursday kick in today? I love when I text Kevin and I get, I'm hammered.
It kind of happened. My neighbor next door's got the week off because the kids are here, and he's got some situations going on with his employment, where he works currently. So we were discussing that, and we just started drinking, and we called Bob while he was at work and said, "Hey, you should come home. We're drinking." And Bob's like, "I'm working. Leave me alone."
And then showed up.
And then showed up 2 hours later. I'm not drinking tonight. Okay, Bob.
I love it, and the weather's good. Well, I just wanted to thank you for jumping on, fellas. I just wanted to give a quick update as to what was going on. I want to remind people to get out to BTB. Laura on Monday talked about the music trivia. Look at btbroc.com to find out when the next music trivia is going to be. We got to figure out a time to get out there and do our game. But she had an absolute blast. And
she doesn't remember any of it, but she had a blast.
She did have a blast. Danny, what's happening with the Yankees?
They're getting beat right now. My brother and his son are at the game right now, sitting by the bullpen. And my brother goes, "This is really embarrassing." I go, "What, the game?" He goes, "No, there's these guys who are older than me begging Garrett Cole for an autograph." Garrett Cole's in the bullpen, and he's like doing rehab work because he just had Tommy John surgery. So, like, and if you don't know this right now in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays during that hurricane, their dome stadium got like blown off. The dome top part got blown off. So they're getting a new stadium. So rather than fix it, they're just going to play this year. And I think maybe next year at the Yankees Tampa complex, Steinbrenner Field. So it's really like a kind of a virtual home game for the Yankees, but also a home game for the Rays. And so they're playing in a minor league park, and my brother got tickets. So he's sitting by the bullpen, and he goes, "It's so sad to see grown men asking for autographs in the middle of the game. Like, it's the third inning. Hey, Garrett Cole, can you sign this for me?" And a lot of athletes have taken the Josh Allen approach, was I only sign for kids. I only sign for kids.
That makes sense.
But I mean, it's during the game.
Yes, it is during the game. But they figure he's not, since the Tommy John rehab surgery.
Got nothing else going on.
Yeah, you got nothing else going on. Sign me an autograph. How much is he making, by the way? What does he get paid a season? $35 million?
$35 million. That's before taxes, though. Yes.
Yeah. 35 million. Oh, yeah. You mean that's gross, not net?
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you heard. Trey White re-signed with the Bills today.
$6.4 million for 1 year, I think.
Yeah, it's a 1-year deal loaded with incentives. But yeah, he's come back to Buffalo. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a starter. I mean, but he was getting better toward the end of last year. But so now, like
Trey White, are they all coming? Is this old homecoming?
Well, Dane Jackson's back. Of course, Bedford, if you can remember his name after that last concussion, he'll be the big corner now.
Yeah, but didn't the Bills sign
they never signed
Drew Bledsoe's going to be the backup quarterback.
Stephon Gilmore did not sign with the team.
Oh, he did not sign. Okay, I thought Stephon Gilmore was signed.
No.
Did not know. Okay.
No, and Rasul Douglas is still out there as a free agent. And then somebody locally said that the Bills are going to sign James Bradbury. I don't know if that's going to be the case. So
defensively in the backfield, that kind of what we thought was sort of a weakness seems to be improved.
Well, we're going to find out. I think they're going to be heavily reliant on the safeties. I think that both of them like coming into their own a little bit, young players, and then I think you're going to have a situation where they're probably going to draft a corner, maybe two coming up. Our pal Sal Capaccio says he wouldn't be surprised. In fact, he believes the Bills will take 3 defensive players with their first 3 picks of the draft in the first 2 rounds. So, I mean, they could just go all defense.
Next week.
They got a lot of needs.
What day is that?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay.
BTB is going to be packed for that one.
Yeah, it probably will be. It's the kickoff to the draft. Except the Bills aren't picking high. That's the thing.
They're picking late.
Yeah, I mean, not saying that you're not going to get a quality guy, but it's not as exciting as those first couple of picks to see who's going to go where, who's going to end up with the Deion Sanders headache as a Yeah, it's
They
the
should
future.
make all the GMs draft after a gummy for one round and make them all be high for once. That would be amazing.
Well, it's funny. I asked Grok yesterday, GROK on Twitter.
Yes.
I asked him, said, who's the consensus NFL 100 players? And they basically pull from every website to figure out, okay, who ranks everybody.
Grok, by the way, is AI, correct?
Yeah, it's Twitter AI.
Okay.
It's Elon's AI. And then I said, okay, can you come up with a chart for me of players of the top 100 where they were drafted? And 60 of the top 100 were drafted in the first round. So, and then 17 in the second round. It's a significant drop off to the second round.
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
And then the third round. And then the other caveat is that none of the top 100 players are undrafted, but there's more undrafted players on under contract than guys drafted in rounds 4 through 7. So really, you got to hit Thursday and Friday.
Okay. Well, we'll be seeing where are the Patriots picking? Do you know, Kevin? I don't.
4.
They're
Oh,
4.
four?
So they're pretty high. What do you think they're going to take?
They're going to take Shedeur Sanders and his retired jersey.
Yeah, did you hear about that?
No, I haven't.
They're
Colorado.
retiring his jersey after a
And-
13-12 career record, no bowl wins, and a 1-12 Pac-12 record. Yet Tim Tebow, who's got 2 national championships and a Heisman,
Wow.
has not been retired.
They're gonna retire Travis Hunter. Or they're gonna retire Shedeur Sanders. I don't even know if they've retired Cordell Stewart's number
They have not retired Cordell Stewart's number.
Wow, this is crazy.
or Charles Johnson. I mean, geez, the guy won a national championship. No,
Or Eric Bieniemy.
yeah, Eric Bieniemy. You're right. Maybe it was
That's
the arrest.
it's pretty wild. I'm trying to see. I missed the entire world today because I was.
Aaron Rodgers went on McAfee. You can read all about that.
Any news?
Well, he said that he flew across the country on his own expense to go meet with the Jets, and Aaron Glenn met with him briefly, ran out of the room. Again, this is according to Aaron Rodgers. Comes back in the room, says, yeah, we're going to go into a different direction. How would you like us to message this? He goes, I don't give a crap how you message it. You could have just told me this over the phone.
Wow. Yeah.
And in a way, like as much as he's a brat, I kind of agree with Aaron Rodgers on that one. Like,
Yeah.
but
that
they
is-
didn't want to offend them. And I think Woody had his hand in the pot, and I don't know what was going. And then like he says, I'm just, I'm 50-50. I could retire. And then this is where everybody hates Rodgers because he's playing this game of maybe I might retire or I might go back and play. The Steelers are an option. This team's an option. I mean, the Vikings may be an option. And I think what he's waiting for is contract breakdowns with either Brock Purdy in San Francisco, and he could jump in and be a hero for a year, or he's waiting for Kevin O'Connell to call for a year and let him play for 1 year and let the kid there, McCarthy, develop. But I think Aaron Rodgers, the best thing for Aaron Rodgers to do is just for every team in the NFL is just to go away, just go.
By the way, Danny, going back to the Yankees in older guys asking for autographs. Somebody writes, this coming from a guy that would have Derek Jeter. By the way, I too, Kevin, have been drinking beers that my brother left me
Cedar
at his
cider.
house. They're called Tubular. They're a 7.2% India Pale Ale, number 2.
Better sleep on the couch and not try those stairs again.
I'm telling you, dude, I went down those stairs I'm slapping it felt like in the moment because it happened so fast that I was slowing down and then I sped up again and I couldn't get any control at all.
We shouldn't take out the coffee table like Joe.
This is true. This coming from a guy that would have Derek Jeter sign his Batwing ball sack.
Whoa.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
I'm not
Would
a big
you-
autograph guy.
Would you have Derek Jeter on your ball? You know what? Maybe you would hang your ball sack on Derek Jeter's chin. And
Actually, you actually could like attest to this. I gave your son Jordan a Derek Jeter autographed baseball
Yep.
card.
you did. Yep.
So there goes that theory. But
Yes,
thank
you
you for playing. Whoever wrote
Yes.
that in.
I've also been told by a former Buffalo Bills reporter, Rich the Bull Gensler,
Yeah.
the Bills have signed Robert Woods.
Oh, really? Back again from LA as receiver. That's a pretty good pickup, Danny.
He was the one guy like during the drought years that everybody really liked. Like, oh, don't go, Robert. And he was a find. Like Doug Whaley, give Doug Whaley credit. He was a 3rd round pick that they found. And by the way, like when I was referring to like how like it's really hard to find guys in the middle rounds, that's where Brandon Beane's bread and butter has been, finding guys in the middle rounds. He's actually better at that than he is in the first few rounds, actually. So
your brother's also watching just to make sure that the house is not on fire. And Bull said he's joking. So they have not signed Robert Woods.
Why would Bull do that? Okay, so my brother's watching. My brother's about to get on a cruise for the next couple of days with his family.
He's making sure the house is still in order. It hasn't been burned down yet.
We have been I told him I was very grateful. I got a text from him this morning. His text said to me, "Good morning, sunshine," and then gave me the whole rundown on things.
Kevin, there is a pot buried in the backyard, just so you're aware. You'll never find it, though.
You'll never find it. That is true. Actually, Jameson wanted to do, apparently the Ice Bucket Challenge is back.
Yes.
University of South Carolina for mental health. Kevin, is that true?
I don't know. All I heard was Tyler said I got to do the Ice Bucket Challenge again.
Okay. So Mike, he went down and did it. And then we're on the dock of the pond on my brother's property. And then I said, you got to jump in the pond. He jumps in the pond. It's so cold. He starts sinking in the mud. He thought he was going to drown. And I'm just standing
there watching.
Oh, no, but I filmed it. I filmed it all. Like every good person in 2025 or in the 2020s, at least somebody was there with a camera to catch it all for you.
Tell him it's payback for him laughing at you falling down the stairs.
Exactly. Yes.
No, isn't there a blooper reel of all the accidents that happened from the last Ice Bucket Challenge?
Oh, probably. Why? What were the?
I just remember like somebody compiled them. There were like about 100 of them of just going wrong. Like sometimes when people like, would do the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Dump it over your head.
Right. But they would take the flap from the top of the Coleman cooler would hit people in the head, broke a tooth, something like that. You know what would be really cool? If everybody just did a cold plunge challenge. Now that would actually be new and interesting and
have it somewhere in
a cold plunge challenge. What? No.
Not all of us are high end like you in a cold plunge.
How is the cold plunge?
I haven't done it yet.
Downstairs next to the workout bag.
It's right here in the box, actually.
It's in the box.
I haven't had a chance to set it up.
Yeah.
It's also for sale. Any listeners, if you're interested, $250. For $6, he'll throw in the sauna too.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, well,
you do use the sauna. Yeah, that's true. Are you using your workout bag?
Yes, I just haven't set up the cold plunge yet.
Yeah, the cold plunge.
Her name is Beth.
Now the cold plunge is hard to set up because you got to get all. I mean, not hard, but it involves getting the ice. It's a time.
It's hard to get ice.
You got to set it up. You got to put it outside.
Hard to get ice in these
you got to get
old countries.
It's not the ice part. It's a lot of work.
It's a pain in the ass is what it is. I'm sorry. It just is. It's a lot. Once you get it up and you get it working, it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that before.
Is that what it is? All right. Well, fellas, thank you very much. We'll wrap it up. I just wanted to just give the update. I don't know if anybody's around. I know tomorrow's No Friday's a bad Friday. I will look at some things and we'll have some opinions and stuff. I was kind of out of touch from the world, but I will tell you what, for your mental health, once in a while, unplug. And better yet, if you got kids, get them to unplug and just be a kid. It was fun to watch my 15-year-old hit rocks into the beach and not be connected to his phone for a couple hours in an afternoon. It really was.
By unplugging, you mean park at an EV spot with a gas car.
I can't believe that someone called the fucking cops. They called the cops. The guy goes to me. I called the cops. I went, what? You can ask James. I went, what? And he goes, and now I'm excited because I go, ooh, there's going to be a show. Something's going to happen. I don't know what, but there's going to be a show.
I'm getting a full charge, not a half charge now.
That's right. I'm staying for that full charge. I don't care how late we get there now. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. And Kevin, enjoy the rest of your drinking night. I don't know if everyone's called it a night or not. Danny, get the damn cold plunge set up. Will you, pal?
I will. Happy Resurrection Sunday, everybody.
Yes. Happy
Get out the BTB for your fish fry on Good Friday.
Yes, right. BTB for your Good Friday fish fry. All right. Thank you, gents. Talk to you Monday.
Salute. Oh, is that it? We're done? Okay. Bye-bye.
Sorry, Danny. Danny.